Hello, brilliant and charming learners. I'm Cristiano Ronaldo, and today we're diving into a Go Natural English session designed to tackle one of the most common struggles English learners face: listening comprehension. Many of you have shared that understanding spoken English is one of the trickiest parts of mastering the language. So I've created this detailed lesson to guide you through some of the most commonly misunderstood or challenging words when it comes to listening and clarity. Let's begin with an incredibly subtle yet essential pair of words, can and can't. Though they might seem straightforward, the difference between them in natural speech is often so slight that it confuses even native speakers. The contrast between saying I can do it and I can't do it is huge in meaning, but the spoken difference is all about nuance. This confusion arises because the final T in can't often softens or even disappears when another word follows, such as a verb. For example, when someone says I can't do it, the T blends so subtly into the D of do that it might sound like I can do it. The blending of sounds is so fine that even trained ears might second guess what they're hearing. But there's more to listen for than just the T sound. Another clue lies in the vowel sounds. Interestingly, even though both words contain the same letter A, the pronunciation changes. In can, the A has a lighter sound, almost like an E, while in can't, it leans into a deeper, more open ah. So you get something like I can do it, sounding almost like I can, and I can't do it, with a more dramatic ah. These subtle shifts in vowel tone and the presence or absence of the T give you two cues to distinguish these words when spoken quickly or in connected speech. Now, let's explore another pair that causes confusion: walk and work. These two can easily be mixed up because they appear similar on paper but sound quite different when spoken. Walk has a calm, open vowel sound, and even though it includes an L in the spelling, that L is completely silent. You're not supposed to say walke. Instead, it sounds like wok, much like the round-bottomed cooking pan used in many Asian kitchens. It's that smooth ah sound that makes all the difference. On the other hand, work has a gruffer sound with a strong at the center, almost like the sound you hear when someone imitates a pirate. This sound is one of the most iconic English sounds and can be tricky to replicate. So when you compare walk and work, the key isn't in the L or R but in the vowel sounds. Ah versus That's the real distinction, and being able to hear and pronounce this can change the way you're understood. Next, let's move on to another confusing pair: thought and taught. These words sound extremely similar except for the beginning sound, one starting with a soft th and the other with a strong T. The th sound in thought is particularly challenging because it doesn't exist in many languages. To pronounce it correctly, your tongue has to come slightly between your teeth, which might feel unusual at first but is absolutely necessary. Taught, in contrast, starts with a more familiar T sound, which is cleaner and more direct. What's tricky here is that both words share nearly identical vowel sounds, despite very different spellings. Thought with its OUGH and taught with its AUGH actually sound the same when spoken. So spelling won't help you in recognizing the difference by ear. It's all about catching that initial sound, th versus t. Understanding these small but crucial distinctions is not just about pronunciation. It's about training your ears to hear what native speakers are really saying. This kind of awareness takes practice and patience. Once you start listening carefully for those tiny differences in sounds and syllables, you'll start to catch things you didn't notice before. You'll start to hear when someone says can versus can't, or walk instead of work, or thought instead of taught. These moments will start to stand out, and your comprehension will begin to feel more natural and automatic. These pairs we explored today, can and can't, walk and work, thought and taught, are some of the most challenging not only to hear but also to pronounce correctly. Listening and speaking are deeply connected, and improving one automatically strengthens the other. That's why it's so important to practice listening actively and attentively, tuning your ear to the sounds of English. The better you get at distinguishing sounds, the more confident you'll become in everyday conversations. Learning a language is not just about vocabulary or grammar, it's also about rhythm, tone, and sound awareness. These elements form the heart of effective communication. If you're committed to mastering English listening skills, keep practicing and listening daily. Each time you focus on the finer details of speech, your understanding deepens, and your ability to respond naturally improves. Keep going, stay curious, and enjoy the process of becoming a more confident English speaker. You've got this.